Hi guys, welcome back to Balls Fan TV, and today we're back with another video doing the match preview for tomorrow's game against St. Patrick's Athletic at Dalymount Park. It's a quick turnaround after a very disappointing night out in Galway, 2-0 defeat. Yeah, no real positives to take, of course. Yeah, a really disappointing display. Deservedly beaten, and look, we've just got to put it in the past now. As hard as that is, it can be easy to dwell on those sort of games. Especially when it was such an important game and it was such a costly defeat. But tomorrow it does represent a chance to try and put that right. Look, I know we're all feeling a bit anxious and a bit nervous that we're gonna see a repeat of seasons gone by where Europe was in our hands and we let it fall away. But look, we just got to show a response here against St. Pat's side, who are off the back of a very good win against Shamrock Rovers. 1-0. But look, before that, they had a very bad defeat down in Cork in the FAI Cup semi-final. So look, they are capable of having an off day. But look, there's no doubt that there's plenty of quality in that squad that can cause any team in this league problems. So look, we've got to be aware of that. But tomorrow really does feel like last chance saloon for Europe, and look, that is scary, of course. But unfortunately, we do find ourselves in that situation after Friday night. It's beyond imperative that we get 3 points tomorrow. If it's anything less, then I think it's probably game over for Europe, sadly. But even though it's our second game in 4 days, I don't think you'll see any changes really. You might see one or two. Maybe could Parsons or Brennan come in for Megason, or could we see a change at the back? The only one really is Douglas James Taylor, who looks like he might be gone for the rest of the season if rumours are to be believed that he has picked up an injury. So look, it looks like Clark will probably stay up front. And yeah, maybe apart from one or two changes, it seems like it's going to be the same team. It's not nice that we find ourselves in this situation where, if we suffer a defeat here, it looks like the season's just come crashing down. And look, that's how cutthroat the league can be. One or two defeats, and you can find yourself in a really tough position, especially with how tight the race for Europe has been this season. Shells have picked up form, Pats are off the back of a win, Drogheda at Derry, they all won on Friday, and we didn't, of course, and it can really leave you in a bad position, and it puts real pressure on us now to respond tomorrow night. And that's going to be tough against a good Pat side. Look, we mentioned how they can't have the odd off day, they can't have a couple of bad results, but on their day they can be really good. They've got really good players. They've put themselves back in firmly in the race for Europe now with that win on Friday, and that they'll be coming here with a lot of confidence. Coming up against the Bow side, who like we said about Galway in the preview, that they'll be thinking that this Bow side have been very inconsistent in the last few months, and it's a good opportunity for us to leapfrog them in the table and fire ourselves even further into that race for Europe, and we just can't let that happen. But look, it might be blind faith, it might just be me trying to be positive as I always try to be, but I just hope and I expect a reaction. You saw the reaction from the fans after the game on Friday. It wasn't good. The players did get a bit of a bollocking off the fans, and rightly so. We weren't happy with what we saw, and hopefully that awoken the players up a little bit now, heading into tomorrow. They'll realise that, right, shit, we're in a bad position now. We're probably a defeat away from completely thrown Europe away. So we've got to show a reaction here. And look, I'm going to go with a 1-0 win. A lot of people might think I'm mad for saying that, especially after how the last few weeks have gone. 3 wins since June. But there's no extra motivation needed for the players now than a home game in a Dublin derby off the back of a bad defeat. That it's the perfect time to respond. And look, we've had a good record in Dublin derbies at home this season. I don't think we've lost one. We bet Rovers in Dalymount. We bet Pats in Dalymount. We bet Shells in Dalymount. We've got a good record in Dublin derbies this season, and this is probably the most important one that we've had all season. So we just need one big performance from the players here tomorrow night, and hopefully they can give us that and stop our season falling apart. So yeah, I'm hoping that the realisation will have hit the players after the Galway game that they've got to get the finger out here now, and that mixed with the energy that I'm sure the fans will hopefully bring tomorrow night. That'll hopefully get us over the line, and we can just pick up one more big win when we really need it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a 1-0 win. I know it's hard to be positive after Friday, but we just gotta try to be and hope that we can pull out with the bag to save our season. So yeah, that's where I'll end it. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment down below what you're thinking heading into the game, your score predictions, and I'll see you for the reaction the day after. Bye bye.